Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you for joining us today. We're here today to share some information that's vitally important to our community and to all of Central Texas. I'm sure all of you are watching what is happening around the country with disasters this summer. Those disasters and incidents are exacerbated by the extreme and historic heat that we're experiencing. These disasters can happen anywhere, and we want to ensure that our local community is as prepared as possible to. We are now on our 39th day of heat above 100 degrees with little to no rain. That's an historic. Help. But the most important disaster declaration for the city of Austin and Travis County, and that'll be done later today. A disaster declaration helps us to be further prepared in the event of a wildfire and in the event of wildfire damage. It allows us to be able to move quickly to access necessary resources to help in any recovery. But the most important thing we can do today is to do everything we can to prevent a wildfire from happening. And that's why we're here, to share with you updates on the current heat conditions, wildfire safety, prevention, evacuation readiness, things of that nature. We want everyone to know that we're ready to support you, and we need you to do your part to be ready as well. Recent temperatures and higher winds than normal have pushed our wildfire risk to the critical stage. Austin ranks 6th in the nation in the number of homes that are at risk of wildfire. The top 5 cities are all in California. 90% of wildfires are caused by humans and are preventable. Now, we know that there are particular concerns around open spaces and particularly homeless encampments. Our wildfire prevention teams are focused on these areas. In addition to that, our continued focus on providing more emergency shelter space means we've been able to move quickly on relocating people to shelters and have the space to do so in the event of a fire. In fact, we just relocated more than 70 people and 15 pets from an encampment in the West Bolden Creek area to the city's South Bridge shelter. Today, you're going to have the opportunity to hear from our fire, EMS, emergency management, police, and we have others available to also answer questions. As I indicated, the city is working in partnership with Travis County to ensure we're all ready for whatever Mother Nature throws our direction. So I'm going to pass it along now to County Judge Andy Brown, and then our public safety leaders will come up to share with you more about what we're doing and what we need to have done in order for us to be prepared. Judge?
Thanks, Mayor. Good afternoon. I'm Travis County Judge Andy Brown, and I just want to thank Mayor Watson for the collaboration from the city during this incredibly active summer that we've had already. I want to thank our hardworking fire crews, especially the Travis County Starflight team, emergency service districts, and all first responders with the city and the county and other jurisdictions and their families while they're fighting fires across Austin and Travis County and Central Texas this summer. This coordinated response is making a difference in this community and throughout Central Texas. We saw in Hawaii the great devastation that wildfires can have, and our thoughts are with all those impacted families and the emergency responders who are providing assistance there. Here in Texas, as the mayor said, Governor Abbott issued a disaster declaration for 191 counties across Texas because of the increasing wildfire risk in our state, and this included Travis County. So we need to join and issue a disaster declaration for Travis County along with the City of Austin. And doing so allows us to more quickly respond to emerging wildfires and get resources needed from across the state and elsewhere here in Travis County and in the City of Austin. This is a serious situation, and we've begun to see the impacts in the communities surrounding Travis County. People have lost their homes and had their lives uprooted because of wildfires already this summer. But together we can help keep each other safe, prevent future wildfires, and be prepared as we can if they do impact us. We need to prevent fire when possible because prevention is the best thing to do. So please don't light fireworks, don't fire up the grill, and do make sure that chains that are attaching trailers to trucks are properly fitted and not dragging along the road. What that means for Travis County is that we're standing up the Travis County Impact Team made up of county staff ready to volunteer with short notice to support shelter efforts in an emergency. We're identifying and preparing, along with the city, emergency evacuee shelter locations. We've got the Travis County Expo Center already set up with cots and water and a plan for food and volunteers to staff it if needed. We're coordinating with the Red Cross, ADRN, and other disaster relief organizations on supporting our emergency shelters, as well as private and faith-based facilities that provide shelters if needed. And we're doing all this in partnership with the city. I've directed my Chief Emergency Management Coordinator, Eric Carter, who's here with me today, to reach out to electric providers in the county to ask them if they are able to shut off power in case of high winds entering the county. We'll keep these efforts ready and on standby should the need arise to respond to a wildfire. Our fire and EMS teams will give more detail about how you can help too. So please take the heat and the wildfire risk seriously. Most wildfires are started by people, so don't start even small fires because that's how it works. Finally, this is not ending today. It's not ending this week. This could very well continue for 2, 3, 4 more weeks of the same kind of heat and dry weather. It will rain eventually, but we're not there yet. So do everything that you can to keep us safe. I'm going to add a little bit in Spanish, kind of the same thing that I just said. Necesitamos prevenir incendios cuando sea posible porque la prevención es la clave. No prenden cuetas, no usen parrillas al aire libre y si conducen con cadenas, asegúrense que estas estén bien ajustadas para evitar que arrastren en pavimento. Necesitamos estar preparados en caso de que una tragedia ocurra. Lo que eso significa en el condado de Travis es que vamos a hacer una declaración de desastre. Este ayudará a atraer más recursos en el área en caso de una incendio. Tenemos listo a un equipo de voluntarios quienes están listos y disponibles para ayudar donde sea necesario. Estamos identificando y preparando posibles locaciones de evacuación, incluyendo el Centro de Exposiciones del Condado de Travis. Estamos coordinando con la ciudad de Austin, con la Cruz Roja, con EDNR y otras organizaciones para proveer refugios y otro tipo de apoyo en caso de emergencia. Tenemos listo el Centro de Exposiciones para usarse si es necesario. Tenemos comida, agua y personas en lugar seguro donde la población se puede refugiar en caso de incendios cerca de sus casas. Mantenemos estos recursos listos para responder en caso de un incendio forestal. Thank you very much again, and I'll now pass it over to Assistant Chief Mark Molenberg with Travis County Emergency Services District 2.
Got it? Hey, let me hand that back. Yeah.
Is that right?
We're going to have
I'm
some.
I messed that up. Let's go with Austin Fire Department Chief Joel Baker first.
That'll work.
All right, thank you.
Well, that's okay. We're on the same team.
And just for the record, I'm not going to stand next to him.
I don't think I should either.
Yeah.
Let me start off by saying, Mr. Mayor, Honorable Brown, Judge Brown, and all the council members, as well as our city manager, the citizens and myself, the fire department, really appreciate your strong leadership taking a stance and getting this message out to the community. But my question to the community is, do you know what to do and what to take with you in the event we have a wildland or wildfire in your community? Now, not yesterday, not tomorrow, but now is the time for everyone to prepare for not what if, but when it happens. Are we ready? You can learn more on how to do just that by following Ready, Set, Go programs. And you can learn more at atswildfire.com. That's atswildfire.com. And some of the key points you will learn from that website is ideas on how to remove items from your home that could fuel the wildfire, such as brush and dead vegetation, leaves, and other stuff that had collected in your gutters, as well as removing those flammable items like patio furniture away from your home or secure them properly. Now keep in mind, in some cases, the Austin Fire Department or the fire service will not be able to put a fire apparatus in front of your door. Again, now is the time for everyone to take ownership and be prepared for an event something happens as the wildland fire. So during these times of extreme wildfire risk, we must all do our part, and you're going to hear that over and over and over again. We all must do our part to prepare for a wildfire. So residents, you need to make sure you keep your situational awareness. The Austin Fire Department has created a website to keep everyone aware of current conditions of your particular location. You can go to another website that's named wildfire-austin.arcgis.com. That's wildfire-austin.hub.arcgis.com to receive that information about the condition in your area for the location that you live in or work in. Again, it is extremely important right now to avoid things that can cause a spark. The grass, the brush, and other vegetation are incredibly dry right now, and be sure that you all dispose of those cigarettes properly. This means not tossing them out the car window or putting them out on the wooden deck, as well as in those potted plants. Improperly discarding those cigarette butts are one of the top 3 causes of improperly disposing flammable material, are one of the top 3 causes of fires in the Austin area. Never, never, never park your car on grass. Toss those dry fuels combined with heat from the engine and other exhaust could start a fire. Ensure, like the judge said, ensure that any change that you may have using behind those vehicles do not drag the ground. Postpone activities that could start a wildfire, such as mowing the lawn and using those charcoal grill. Again, I want to thank the mayor and the honorable judge and all the council members and the city leadership, along with the city manager office, and getting this message out to our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Chief, it's all yours.
Good afternoon. Mark Mullenberg with Travis County ESD number 2, the Pflugerville Fire Department. Currently, myself and our department are fulfilling the role of County Resource Coordinator. And I'm going to talk a little bit about the resources and the coordination of wildfire response resources in Travis County, including the city of Austin. So the Travis County CRC, or the County Resource Coordination, is a system of coordination between departments in Travis County that include all of the emergency services districts and the Austin Fire Department. It was established in the early 1990s as a result of wildfire threat and response needs. The system is used to ensure resources that are needed for an incident are sent while maintaining a balance of resources to help cover the remainder of the county. This system is obviously particularly important at this time or in times of high wildfire threat. And we have been staffing the CRC position daily since August the 7th, so last Monday. Fire chiefs from Austin Travis County ESDs and Austin Fire Department and Starflight have been meeting every morning at 9:30, coordinating resources and discussing previous days' events, what fires we've had, what coordination issues we've had, and working daily on ways to improve those coordinations and responses. So resources from Travis County and Austin have responded and supported to multiple wildfire incidents in Travis County and have supported several wildfire missions in the surrounding counties, including Bastrop, Hayes, Caldwell, Blanco, and Burnett. And then in addition to that, we have several fire departments in Travis County that are supporting TIFMAS, which is our state mutual aid system, and they are helping respond to fires across the state of Texas. Emergency services districts in Travis County have enhanced staffing levels along with the Austin Fire Department. We have adjusted from normal staffing levels to enhanced staffing levels, and we have also changed our normal staffing practices in order to put more people on brush trucks and other types of resources that support wildfire response. Currently in Travis County, we have anywhere on a daily basis from about 15 to 19 brush trucks staffed and ready to respond. And then in addition to that, there are other various types of equipment that respond to wildfires also staffed or readily available. And that ranges from small UTVs that can fight fire, some heavy equipment that is very beneficial in a wildfire fight. We have a hand crew staffed in the county that is also available to respond. And then we have several resources deployed around the county that are portable refill stations for the Starflight helicopter to be able to refill their bucket when there's not readily available water for them to dip out of. So in sum, we have been working for the last week to be very prepared, and actually it's gone beyond last week, but the concentrated effort has been since last week to be prepared to respond to the wildfires. We have been coordinating these responses, and we continue to do so for the duration of this event. Thank you.
Thank you. Director?
Good afternoon. Director Ken Snipes with Austin Homeland Security and Emergency Management. I want to start by thanking the mayor and judge for being here with us to hammer home this really important message. As you've heard from the chiefs already, we've seen a number of fires in our area over the last few weeks, and you can help by being prepared and understanding what you can do to prevent wildfires. We have a number of resources available in our community, for our community, including an all-hazards digital emergency preparedness hub. At the website for that is readycentraltexas.org. This resource is for everyone to help you get ready before an emergency, and that includes information that includes wildfires. You can also attend one of our emergency preparedness pop-up events, and we have one tomorrow. And in addition to that, we're also hosting another event called Get Ready Central Texas Emergency Preparedness. That's a fair that will occur on September 22nd. For more information on that event as well as the pop-up events, you can go to readycentraltexas.org. One thing we want to remind people of is that now, as you've heard from the chiefs, is the time to get ready. And we want you to start by making sure that you take time to meet your neighbors, check on your friends, your families, and especially our older community members and those who may be vulnerable. It is important for anyone with disabilities to register for the State of Texas Emergency Assistance Registry called STEER. The STEER program is free, and it is a registry that provides local emergency planners and emergency responders with additional information on the needs of our community. We can best support those who are vulnerable if we know in advance where you are, and what resources you may need. Knowing when to evacuate saves lives. If you or your neighbors have physical or mobility limitations, please register with STEER. Another resource you could also visit is called warncentraltexas.org, or sign up for emergency messaging, and be sure to choose wildfire as one of the messages that you wish to receive messages for. In addition to all the information that we're providing on wildfire conditions, we also want to remind people that we're still continuing to see record heat this summer. For the last month, our department has been leading a pilot in Republic Square Park to support people who may be in need during the excessive heat time frames. Since the program has begun, we've provided support to more than 6,000 people. And lastly, I want to remind people that our cooling centers are open as well. You may get information on our cooling centers at austintexas.gov/alerts, and that information is available in 13 different languages. Thank you. Chief.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Scott Perry, and I'm an assistant chief with APD. As all of my colleagues have already stated, seeing the fires that have occurred not only close to us in our community, but also across the whole country is very heart-wrenching for the loss of life as well as property. So now is, as has been stated, the most important time to be prepared. Empowering our community to know what resources are available is that's what our goal is here today. Know how to be prepared, know how to receive notifications, and know what to do in case you or your family find yourself in an emergency situation or a wildfire. Always think about your neighbors, and as Director Snipes indicated, think about the most vulnerable in our community and check on them, make sure that they have a way to get out in case something were to happen. As a first responder agency, some of the things that you'll see from APD in the event of a wildfire is that first and foremost, we're there to support our partner agencies, both with fire and with EMS. We do that every single day. We work very well together, and we will continue to do that in this type of situation. In the event there is an emergency, you will see APD officers going door to door in case we have to make emergency evacuation plans or notifications. Secondly, you will probably hear officers on PA systems driving through neighborhoods, giving instructions, clear direction on what is needed from the community members to help evacuate them out of their neighborhoods. You can expect to see officers working traffic control, keeping the community safe, keeping them back, letting the firefighters do what they need to do to manage and mitigate the fires. We will also continue to communicate through all of our social media platforms. All of the resources that have been given to you today, they will all be on our website and through our social media, and we'll continue to push those out, so then if anything is going on, you'll know exactly what is available to you and how to respond. The last thing I want to say is it is vitally important that if you get direction from one of our agencies, please follow the directions. The only way that we can keep you safe, which is our primary goal, is for you to listen to what we're asking you to do, whether it be evacuate, move away, back up from a scene. That is what we need from you. So thank you.
Good afternoon, Rob Lukritz, Austin Travis County EMS. Just a reminder, Austin Travis County EMS continues to be heavily involved in the preparations for the response and prevention of wildfires. We are actively involved with their public safety partners, the Austin Fire Department, as well as across Texas. It bears saying that as we enter the wildfire season, as we encounter wildfires, that individuals need to be aware of the potential health risks that may be involved. Individuals should be prepared and should visit with their doctors if they're medically vulnerable to ensure that they have adequate medications, to make sure that they understand the implications. If you experience or you happen to be near a wildfire, again, preparing, wearing a mask if you happen to be near one, and again, speaking to your physician to ensure that you are prepared with medications and other things. It's already been said that this is a very hot time of year. We continue to see excessive heat. We continue to hit records for Austin Travis County EMS for response to heat-related illnesses. It is a very real risk. We need to make sure that we continue to do all of the things we've spoken about earlier, stay hydrated, and again, when you combine that with the risk of wildfire, ensuring that you have adequate supplies so that if you do need to evacuate, you are able to prepare yourself for that as well as the excessive heat that you may encounter. Please have a plan in place. Please care for your neighbors. Again, I think this was said before, this is a community effort. The public safety resources that we have here will not be in front of your house. We need to make sure that we have a community that is focusing on helping one another and ensuring that if you know that you have a vulnerable neighbor, work with them. Make sure that they have a plan. Make sure that you know where they are, and in case of a wildfire, make sure that you have a plan to assist them if necessary to evacuate. Lastly, please be aware of your mental health. These are traumatic incidents. Again, prepare yourself for what may occur and be ready for whatever instructions you may receive from public safety. Please have those discussions with your family, with your friends, and your loved ones so that we understand potential implications of what may occur. With that, I'll turn it back over to the mayor.
Thanks, Chief. Well, the bottom line is that we are I'm not telling anybody any real news, we're in a very hot time with risk of wildfire. And what we're not having this gathering and providing this information to create fear. Instead, we're having this so that we can empower people to be prepared for what could happen. And nobody wants it to happen. So that's what we're doing is we're asking people to take the action that we need to take to prevent something bad from happening. We have a number of people here to answer questions, and we'll take a few questions from the members of the media.
Mayor, Grace with Cape San.
Yeah.
Hey, can you talk a little bit about, Bruce Mills put out a memo recently talking about how the city fire union have not been able to come to an agreement on how much firefighters should make at a time when we obviously really need firefighters. How are y'all working to keep them?
Well, of course, that's dealing with something other than what the press conference is about,
Sure.
but welcome to the press conference.
Hi.
Nice to have you. I'll let Chief Mills discuss that, but I'll put it this way. There are ongoing negotiations with the Austin Fire Union. There was also an arbitration that was conducted, and what the indications are that for right now is the indications are that the union would like to go forward with whatever the ruling is of that arbitration. I have no question that the dedicated firefighters that we have in Austin, Texas, are not looking at whether or not the city and the union have a contract before they take action in a situation like this, if we were to have a wildfire situation. In fact, I think it's offensive to the firefighters to even assume such a thing. And I would never assume that, and I would ask that the media not assume it, and the people that are served by these great firefighters not assume it.
We're going to be there, Mr. Mayor.
I know.
I know
Yes.
what we're seeing in Maui, of course, is just terrific, and that is its own situation, being on an island and being what it is. But it seems like some of the things, the lack of communication, cell phone service that went down, people's inability to get any information or direction from first responders, was that anything that maybe played into what you're doing today, or made you open your eyes about what could happen?
First of all, we're having this news conference today, but the people that are in this room have been talking to each other and working with each other in anticipation of us getting to the point where we needed to have something like this for weeks. This is the level of communication that you reference. That goes on. You just heard from the assistant chief with regard to our Travis County emergency services. Well, they're out there already talking and communicating. We're already prepared if we need to have others come in, or we need to go help others in some other place because they have a disaster. Those joint agreements are already front of mind and what people are looking at. Frankly, we wouldn't be having this event right now to discuss what the public can do to help us prevent this if we weren't feeling like we're as ready as you can be. Now, I will say this. You can always learn from what you see in other places, and these professionals do that. An emergency is something we want to avoid. So the first thing, as the judge has indicated, the first thing we want to do is we want to try to prevent it. And that's why we want to put out all of this information and ask folks to engage in prevention activities. The second is how you deal with it at the time that an emergency happens. And what I will say to you is that the results of an emergency will be better than what they would have been otherwise, because these professionals are preparing for just that.
Mayor, Lisa with KUT. So can you talk a little bit about what this declaration does?
Sure.
The governor has already declared this disaster, but can you talk a little bit about how Travis County and Austin benefit from this?
Yeah, well, the way these declarations work, I kind of break it up in my head in two ways. Whether others do, I don't know, but this is the way I think about it. Is there's two aspects to it, including with regard to what the governor has done. The first is kind of an operational aspect to it, and that is what, by declaring a disaster, does it make it easier to do certain things, to gain resources? Certainly with the state's declaration, that's one of the big things, is the ability to coordinate resources better. With regard to local operational aspects of it, it's things like if we need to be able to do something but yet we have a rule that says, for example, on purchasing, that we have to follow that. We can not get in our own way when it comes to things like purchasing. So again, from an operational perspective, except for things like that, everything that we would put in a disaster declaration that we would want to do, we're already doing. But what that disaster declaration does is it allows us to not have to comply with things like procurement and get in our own way going forward. The second, of course, the second thing that when I think of a disaster declaration is it's things like reimbursement on expenses and how we qualify to get reimbursement with a disaster declaration that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get without a disaster declaration. That's not front of mind right now. What's front of mind is being ready and prepared operationally if something were to happen. Yeah, please, come on.
So, and the other big piece is that it allows the mayor and the county judge to do things more quickly. The mayor would not have to wait for a council meeting to approve a certain action or something like that. I would not have to wait for commissioner's court. So it lets, under a declaration, the mayor and the judge take action much quicker than otherwise for county and city resources.
Mm-hmm. That's a real good example of operationally how we can move more quickly. Joe?
Yes. Can somebody explain what exactly was going on at Republic Square? Because somebody mentioned helping people there, but I didn't get a sense of exactly
Yes,
what
the water. Go ahead and do that.
Sure. Again, Ken Snipes, HESM Director. So what's going on at Republic Square is about 4 weeks ago, we started a pilot project to support people during extreme heat. And so we're now continuing on with that effort on extreme heat days. So what we're doing there, we've set up a couple of misting canopies and shade canopies, and we're passing out bottles of cold water there for people in need of those things. And so as I said, it's a pilot. We're studying the efficacy of the project to get a better sense for how this might be beneficial going forward.
And how many people have taken advantage of that?
So right now, about 6,000 people have taken advantage of it.
Mr. Snipes, do you know, is water restrictions impacting those misting tents, or how is that working with the water restrictions in place?
It's not at this time, and again, it's something that we're working with our partners at Water on and paying close attention to that. But again, just remember that this is an opportunity to give people who may have a need to cool themselves off because of the extreme heat. It gives them an opportunity to do so.
Homeless encampments have become maybe a concern and maybe a possible place for wildfires to be created. What is the city doing to address that particular maybe weak spot?
If you want to come up and add anything, that Diana Gray will add anything. A couple of things. One is our wildfire prevention groups are paying specific attention to encampments and making sure that we're trying to avoid that and talking to people there. Second is we're doing, like I indicated in my opening comments, we're moving people into shelters so that they'll be in a position where they're not in an encampment where a fire might break out. And as I mentioned in the Bolden Creek area, we just removed over 70 people and 15 animals in an effort to do that. In addition, we have, of course, gone forward on what will be about 450 additional shelter beds. We anticipate that there'll be 300 of them open and available at the marshaling yard by the end of this month, with another 150 coming online once repairs are done to what many of us consider to be the old Salvation Army building that the city has leased. So that will create additional opportunity for us to help people, A, not be in this heat, but B, be out of situations where it might enhance or create the possibility for a wildfire. But I'll ask Diana Gray if she has anything she wants to add.
I think you covered it, Mayor.
All right.
Do you all feel like
That's the
this
first
is-
time she's done that. Let's note that.
Do you all feel like that is one of the weakest areas maybe Austin is trying to get a handle on?
Well, it's a problem throughout the state of Texas, and that's not a problem unique to Austin, but it is one that we pay attention to. We pay attention to it not just because of wildfire. As you know, since I've gotten into office, one of my priorities has been that we increase the number of shelter beds that we have in the community, and that's for a variety of reasons. It's, frankly, I consider it to be inhumane for people to be living on the street and in parks and in wooded areas in 107-degree heat. And we need to provide respite in that regard. I also know that it helps when we're able to get people, if we have enough shelter beds, to be able to get them into housing more routinely because of if we're providing the services we need to provide. But no question that when we're faced with the weather and the conditions that we're currently faced with, it is a risk that we want to avoid if someone is living in a wooded area, camping in a wooded area, and as has been pointed out, smoking a cigarette. If the cigarettes don't get put out the right way, building a fire. We're asking people not to use their grills right now, things of that nature. So that's why we have to have some focus, because we know it's there, and that is why we have a focus.
Could you talk a little bit about what y'all are doing at the Expo Center and other evacuation sites, should folks need to use them?
Yeah, so Eric Carter is in charge of those operations, but the Expo Center has what's known as the banquet hall. It's the air-conditioned part of the Expo Center, basically. And we brought cots over there, water over there, and Eric, I believe, has worked out relationships with the Red Cross, ADRN, and others that will help provide staffing and food there should we need it. And then, of course, the city and the county staff are working together to come up with plans to staff, that place or other places as needed for people who are having to evacuate from their homes specifically. So, yeah, Eric, come on up.
Yeah, hi, I'm Eric Carter. I'm the Chief Emergency Management Coordinator for Travis County. So, regards to specifically with the Expo Banquet Hall, we've gone ahead, as the judge said, we've put resources in there. So if it needs to be open in the event of an evacuation as either a reception center or as a shelter, it's ready to go. The big picture for everybody here is like we're working with our partners to bring those resources online across the county. So not just with the county and our banquet hall, add to that all the city facilities that the team there has been working on to give our firefighters access to these spots if we have to evacuate any place in the county. It's an ongoing effort, but there's been a lot of work by county staff to get that particular facility up and ready. Again, but I want to emphasize it's a team effort across city, county, and multiple communities in Travis County to begin to bring these resources online, in our efforts to be ready in case we have a wildfire any place in the county. So.
And just to be clear, would this be the first summer that y'all have used the Expo Center specifically for that purpose?
We've used the Expo Center in the past for disasters. We didn't have to use it last summer for shelter. We did use the site for a reception center.
Oh, and regarding
let me just, we're going to do one last question, then I'm going to ask Director Snipes to come up and have him walk through those numbers and websites to give information to the public. So, last question.
All right. Regarding outdoor grilling, things like that, are y'all just discouraging all grilling, or is it just fire? Are fires that don't produce ash okay, like gas grills, propane grills, or is it all?
All of them. Right now, we're at a point in time where it's better safe than sorry, but just say that to yourself over and over again on anything that you're thinking about doing. That includes, by the way, dealing with the heat. Pay attention to your body. check on neighbors, check on the elderly, check on people that may need help. Again, it's better to be safe than sorry. But when it comes to preventing a wildfire, it is better safe than sorry. So there's just, I don't care how good you think your grilling is, there's not a need for it right now.
There's a lot of great takeout from a lot of great barbecue restaurants, a lot of steak places, so let's focus on that for the
If you
next
catch
month.
somebody grilling, do they get a tip?
No.
I think it's officially banned in county parks, the use of charcoal and other things besides propane, but as the mayor says, let's just not do any of that right now.
Yeah, that's right.
Are there going to be any restrictions on those businesses? You know, like any barbecue places that are?
No. Keep digging for that controversy. Keep digging for that controversy, but we're not going to say that. What we're saying is, let's protect each other. Let's pay attention to what we need to do as a community living this close to each other. We need to take care of each other. We need to be smart. We need to use common sense. And what that means is it's better to be safe than to be sorry. Let me ask Director Snipes to come back up because I do want the public to have the information that he so well put out.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, we want to remind people, if you need help or you need information or education on any of the things that we talked about today, you can go to readycentraltexas.org. And we also want to remind you that if you or someone you know needs help with evacuation because of a mobility impairment, please go to the State of Texas Emergency Assistance Registry, also known as STEER, and register. And then lastly, you can also visit the warrencentraltexas.org website to sign up for emergency messaging. Thank you.
Thank you all very much. Appreciate you being here. Be safe.